Saint Anthony the Great, January 17th. Inspired by a gospel command, a wealthy young man renounces his inheritance to embrace a life of intense spiritual warfare in the desert, becoming the father of monasticism. A heads up in the spirit of transparency. Please be advised that this content may include demonic attack, ascetic extremes. Saint Anthony the Great, commemorated by the Church on January 17th, is revered as the father of monasticism. He was born in Coma, Egypt, around 251 AD, to parents who were both wealthy and devout Christians. From his youth, Anthony showed a disposition towards a life dedicated to God. He attended church services with faithfulness and listened to the Holy Scriptures with attention. When Anthony was about 20 years old, his parents reposed. Shortly after, while attending a divine service, he heard the gospel reading from Matthew 19, verse 21. If you want to be perfect, go, sell what you have, and give to the poor, and you will have treasures in heaven. This passage resonated deeply within him, as if spoken directly to his soul. He understood it as a personal call to a higher form of life. Without hesitation, Anthony acted upon this word. He distributed his substantial inheritance, consisting of 300 fertile acres, to the poor people of his village. For his younger sister, he made arrangements, entrusting her to the care of a community of virgins, where she could live a life of prayer and purity. Having divested himself of all worldly possessions and familial obligations, Anthony began his ascetic journey. He did not immediately withdraw into the deep desert, but started his struggles near his home village. He sought out an experienced elder in the vicinity, observing his way of life and learning from his spiritual practices. Anthony imitated the elder's discipline, embracing prayer, fasting, and manual labor. He also visited other ascetics, drawing wisdom from each concerning their particular virtues, one for his prayer, another for his patience, another for his fasting, and so forth. He gathered these examples into his own life, striving to embody all their virtues. After a period of intense spiritual training near his village, Anthony sought greater solitude. Around 285 AD, he moved further into the desert, settling in an abandoned Roman fort at Pispir. Here, he lived in complete isolation for 20 years. This period was marked by severe spiritual warfare. Demonic temptations assailed him in various forms, attempting to distract him from his purpose, instill fear, or lead him to despair. Anthony confronted these attacks not with physical strength, but with unwavering faith, ceaseless prayer, and the sign of the cross. He endured physical hardships, fasting rigorously and sleeping little, always keeping his mind fixed on Christ. Through these struggles, he gained profound spiritual experience and inner strength, learning to discern the wiles of the enemy and to trust fully in God's protection. His steadfastness in the face of these trials became a testament to the power of asceticism. Around 305 AD, after 2 decades of hidden struggle, Anthony emerged from the fort. Those who had known him expected to see a man weakened by isolation and hardship. Instead, they beheld a man whose body was sound and whose soul was radiant with divine grace. He was not disturbed in his mind, nor had he lost his sight or teeth, as many expected from such a rigorous life. His wisdom and holiness had grown immensely, attracting numerous individuals who desired to follow his path of dedication to God. Anthony became a spiritual father to these seekers. He did not establish a rigid communal monastery in the typical sense, for he continued to live as a hermit. However, he organized the disciples who gathered around him into communities, teaching them principles for a common life of prayer and labor. He taught them that victory over passions and demonic influences is achieved through humility, constant prayer, and the power of the venerable cross. He guided them in cultivating inner stillness and purity of heart. His teachings laid the practical and spiritual foundation for Cenobitic monasticism, even as he exemplified the eremitic ideal. In approximately 311 AD, during the persecution under Emperor Maximian, Anthony left his desert solitude. He traveled to Alexandria to support and comfort the Christian martyrs and confessors. He openly ministered to those imprisoned and condemned in the mines, offering encouragement and spiritual solace. Anthony desired martyrdom himself, but God preserved him, knowing his continued life would serve as a greater edification for the Church. His presence strengthened the resolve of the faithful and confounded the persecutors. Years later, around 338 AD, Saint Athanasius the Great, the Archbishop of Alexandria, sought Anthony's assistance. The Arian heresy, which denied the divinity of Christ, was causing division within the Church. Anthony, though a man of the desert and not a theologian of academic training, possessed a profound understanding of Orthodox truth, gained through prayer and spiritual experience. He traveled once more to Alexandria. His mere presence, emanating holiness and spiritual authority, had a powerful effect. He preached against the Arian teachings, affirming the true divinity of Christ with simple yet profound words rooted in his holy life. Many Arians were converted by his witness, and the Orthodox faithful were greatly strengthened in their confession. Saint Anthony the Great reposed in the Lord in 356 AD at the venerable age of 105. He died on a remote mountain in the inner desert where he had retreated for his final years. Before his repose, he instructed his disciples to bury him in an unmarked grave. He wished to prevent the veneration of his relics, a practice he humbly sought to avoid, desiring only to be known by God. His life remains a testament to the power of asceticism and unwavering faith in Christ.